Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am doing a brow tutorial, but it looks like I'm doing a eye look as well. I did do separate videos for my brow. Excuse me. I did do separate videos for my brows and this eye look. So for today, it's just going to be focused on these brows right here. I wanted to show you guys how I fill in my brows, just so you guys can maybe learn how to fill in your brows if you guys are barely learning, or if you like already know how to fill in your brows but you guys want more natural looking brows. But in my opinion, this is my natural looking brow. This is what I typically like to go for on a daily. So I really hope you guys enjoy this brow tutorial. Before you guys leave, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys would like to know how I fill in my brows, then of course just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I want to show you guys a few tips on how to fill in your eyebrows. And the way that I like to fill in my eyebrows is making them look a bit more natural rather than like too much product on them. So what I typically like to use is my Anastasia pomade, which just looks like this. Mine is in the shade dark brown, and I've had this for a while now, and that's how much I've used it so far. This works amazing, but I do also want to share with you guys a cheaper alternative that works just as good, and it's this e.l.f. pomade right here. Very similar in packaging. As you guys can see, it comes with like a black lid and everything. It's just that this one is wider and this one is just taller. And then it just looks like this. I've also used this quite a few times, and mine is in the shade espresso on this e.l.f. one. I do like both of them. They work just as good as, like, they work amazing. You can probably even use this as a dupe for the Anastasia one. That's how much I really like the e.l.f. one. But for today's video, I'm just going to take my Anastasia one. So this is what my brows look like with no product on. I mean, I like my shape of my eyebrows. Like what I do to maintain them nice and clean, I usually just always pluck the little hairs. Like if I see them growing out, that's just typically what I like to do. I just pluck my eyebrows. I don't wax them or anything like that. But yeah. And then for like the front of the brows right here, I do have these little scissors right here that I like to use. Like if my hairs right here in the front get too long, I do like to just cut them a bit shorter, nothing too much, just so that they're not sticking up too much right there in the front. But that's typically what I just like to do to maintain my brows nice and clean. But now just to get started on filling them in, so I do like to take like an angled brush like this one right here. As you guys can see, I like it to be nice and thin. I don't like it to be too thick, because then that can really mess up the way you fill in your brows. So just look for a small angled brush that is thin. This one came in a set that I got from BH Cosmetics. It came with like all kinds of brushes. See, I have this one and like a lot of face brushes. So if you guys are looking for good, affordable and good brushes, you should definitely check out BH Cosmetics. I remember BH Cosmetics is what I started out with, and still to this day I like their products. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this brush right here, and then what I like to do is I just like to go in my pomade and just, you know, go in there, coat my brush very nice, and then on the edges of the container, I just like to, you know, make my brush nice and pointy. So now to get started, what I like to do is I like to start from the bottom. So I start from like right here, not all the way in the front, like right here, and I just start drawing a line or outlining my brow from the bottom, and just go as just go with the line of your brow that you already have. And then I'd like to do the same thing on the top. So I like to go in from the same point. Like I'm not going all the way from the front, I'm starting like halfway, and then do the exact same thing. Just outline your brow, and then once you outline the top and the bottom, I like to fill in everything. So where I have my line, you know, where I started my line right here, I like to fill in everything behind that, just like this. And then after that, I do take whatever is left on my brush, I take it to the front, outline the bottom and the top as well. And since there's not much product on the brush anymore, it's gonna be okay if you like go in there with a lot of pressure, because you don't have a lot of product, and you always want to make sure that you don't put a lot of pressure on the front of the brow, and you want to make sure you put the most pressure like on the outer part of the brow, because you always want your outer part of your brow to be the darkest and the front of the brow to be the lightest. So that's what I like to do. Just do the front and the bottom. And then I like to take a spoolie. It can be any spoolie. I'm just using my ColourPop one, the pencil, but I'm just using the spoolie side, and I like to brush it out. That way we can get some color up on the front when you brush it out. Just like that. And then if you feel like you're missing any spots, like if you see like an open gap or anything like that, you can just go in there and fill it in, just how I do here. And if you feel like the front of your brow needs more, you can definitely go in there with more, with light pressure. Just like that. And then just brush it out some more. And now you guys can see the difference. This is not filled in and this one is. Like I said, if you guys feel that you have empty spaces, just go ahead and fill them in. You know, dip your brush into some more pomade and just start filling in. I don't have that many, just like right here typically, but that's about it. Then you always want to make sure you brush out your brows, because you don't want them to look super harsh on there. And also when you're filling in your brows, you want to make sure you stay with like a serious face. You don't want to be raising them, because if you do, you're gonna get like that very exaggerated brow. But you guys, as you guys can see, it doesn't take me that long to fill in my brows, because I feel like I don't have much filling in to do. It's just mainly like where I'm missing hairs, which is like not that much. And I don't like to make my brows super thick either. I like the shape of them and the size, so I typically just like to make them a bit fuller. So as you guys can see, this is not filled in and this one is. You guys can see a difference. This just looks a bit fuller and much nicer. Unlike this one, you can see like I have some empty spaces that I need to fill in. So you guys can see what a difference it makes. Even though like my brows already look, in my opinion, my brows already look good, the only thing is just that they need to be fuller. But yeah, that's typically how I fill in my brows. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my other brow, and I'll just fast forward it, but I'll let you guys see once again, since I already explained on this side. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, move quickly through the second brow. So now that I have both of my eyebrows filled in, we're gonna move on to carving the eyebrows. So you're gonna need a concealer and you're gonna need a small flat brush. So the brush that I typically like to use is one that just looks like this. I hope you guys can see that on camera. It's just very nice and small, and it's very flat. And then the concealer that I'm gonna use is just this Too Faced Born This Way concealer. You can use any kind of concealer. So what I like to do is just like take whatever concealer is on here, and I typically just like to take it on the tip of the brush, and then I like to get super close with a mirror. That way I can like really carve out my brows, and then I just go underneath the brows. So it's easier to show you guys than to explain, so I'll just let you guys see. So yeah. You want to make sure you get super close to your brow hairs, but make sure you don't get it on your brows. Just like that, and then whatever is left on there, I just like to bring it a little bit more down, and this is usually where I would prime my eyelids because I do like to use concealer as a primer. So just like that, and then I like to go in there with my finger and just smooth out the concealer just so it doesn't look super harsh on there, just like that. And now you guys can see what also a difference the carving out and cleaning up your eyebrows make. So this one is nice and clean from the bottom, and this one isn't. You guys can definitely see a difference. It also makes it look a bit more like arched compared to this one. So that is a big difference in my opinion. I hope you guys can pick that up on camera. So this one is nice and clean already. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Alright, so now both of my brows are nice and clean. I typically don't clean up on top of my brows because I feel like I don't need it. But if you feel like you do need it, you can take, what I would do is take your foundation that you're going to use for that day and just carve it out from the top. You don't want to use like a concealer because it is lighter, and you don't want the top of your brows to be lighter than like your whole face, you know what I mean? So just take like whatever foundation you're going to use for that day and just use that to clean up on top of your brows. So now once that my brows are nice and clean from the bottom, they are looking good. I typically don't do this because I feel for the most part my brows stay put and they don't move or anything like that. But if I do notice that like my hairs are sticking up or like they don't want to stay, I do like to go in there with this Maybelline Great Lash Clear Gel. This is for the lashes, but I like to use it for my brows. It's been with me for a while now. Like from all the times that I've used it, it's looking brown instead of clear. But I mean, that's okay. But what I like to do is, so like I take it out and then I like to take most of the product off. Like on the side right there, and then with whatever is on there, I just go with like the way that my hairs are on there. So I like to, you know, make these go up, and then I just go with the way my hairs are on there, just like that. I'm not really into that whole feathery brow. I do not like that at all, where you like, instead of going the way that your hairs are already, you make them go up. I do not like that look at all whatsoever. But if you're into that, you can definitely, you know, just start flicking them upward. I'm just not into that. I like my brows to be nice and put, so that's what I'm going to do. And the same thing with the other side. Now your brows are nice and good to go. And also, you guys, I do want to say your brows are not meant to look exactly the same as like each other. One is obviously going to be different. I noticed that this one always is thicker on this side, and then this one has a more like of an arch and it's longer. But that's okay if your brows don't look exactly the same. They're not supposed to. So yeah, don't think that your brows are supposed to look the same. So don't go out there trying to make them look the same, because they are never gonna look the same. But yeah, you guys, that does complete this brow tutorial. Very quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup off camera, and then I'll be right back to show you guys how my brows look with makeup and all of that. Alright guys, so I finished off my whole makeup, and as you guys can see, I did this very dramatic eye look. I did record this video, so you guys will be seeing this eye tutorial sometime when I upload. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed my brow tutorial. As you guys can see, they look very nice and natural in my opinion, and with makeup I just feel like they just all come together once your whole makeup is on. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this brow tutorial. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.